So we do now the third Mamer. This is in the Parsha of Chukas. No, not Chukas. Parsha of Balak. Sorry, we're up to Parsha of Balak already. Okay, so the pasuk says there. This is in the prophecy of Bilam. He says, "Lo yihivit oven bi'Yaakov," and then it says, "Lo yira'amal bi'Yisrael." So he uses two names to describe the Yidden. One he describes them with the name Yaakov, and one the name Yisrael. So he says, "Hine yesh beis b'chinas madreges l'mayla." So above we have two levels and two steps. We have b'chinas Yaakov or b'chinas Yisrael. We have the level of Yaakov and the level of Yisrael. He's going to explain the avodah. Yaakov is more b'chinas avodas eved. That's working like a servant of Hashem, distant from Hashem, but working hard to connect. Then you have the Yisrael. Yisrael is the son, avodah like a ben, as we'll see. Vayim b'zoyar bolok dafresh yud amid beis u'parshas vayishlach daf kuf ayin dalad amud aleph shem gam beis b'chinas shoynois ba'avodas Hashem ba'odom. These represent two various different levels in the service of Hashem by a person. We have the b'chinas eved u'b'chinas ben. We have a level which is called like a servant, and then we have the level which is called a ben. Hainu b'chinas Yaakov u'b'chinas eved. Level of Yaakov is the level of servant, an eved, a slave. Meshekosu, Pasuk says, "Shema Elai Yaakov Abdi," so he's called an eved. Then you have Ubchinas Yisrael, Ubchinas Ben. That is the level of Ben. As the pasuk says, "B'ni b'choiri Yisrael." So Yisrael is associated with level of Ben. We have to first introduce the concept, the meaning and the concept of an eved. We find the language of service, of working for. We serve to him blessing. The various psukim brings down. It says, as Hashem Elikechem, you shall serve God your God. And then it says in the pasuk, Tachas Asher lo yavadetos Hashem Elikechem, because you haven't served God your God. And then there's yet another pasuk, Ule'avdei b'chol levavchem, to serve Hashem with all your heart. And then there's another pasuk, Ivdos Hashem, serve Hashem. All a lotion of serving, avodah, eved. What is the meaning of serving? When you serve somebody, it means that you're giving him something that he needs, that he doesn't have, and you have to give it to him. You're helping him, you're fixing it for him, you're serving him. But what does the Eibishter need that we need to serve him? What is avodah? When you serve somebody, that's like fixing and service. You fix something for him, you fix him a dinner, you fix up for him so he has something. Why? Because the master needs that fixing and that service. But how could we possibly say this with relative to HaKadosh Baruch Hu? The Eibishter is the wholesome of everything. He doesn't need anything from somebody else. There's nothing that somebody else could give him. As the pasuk says, everything is from you. See, there's also another full pasuk, a very clear pasuk. See, if you are righteous, what do you give to him? Which means there's nothing we can give to Hashem. So what does he need our service for? What does it mean that we're serving? Service to Hashem is to reveal godliness in the world. Because the way the Eibishter created the world The world obscures, blocks, doesn't recognize Hashem. The avodah is to go ahead and remove those blockages, those halamas v'estadim, in order to reveal and to see godliness in the world. It's known, the statement that we say, the saying is Ava Kodesh Baruch Hu Liyas Loi Direk B'Tachtonim. Hashem wants to have a dwelling place below. What does that mean? It means that Mitzad Hashem, there's everything. There's nothing there. Hashem wants that there should be a creation of items that should sort of appear as if they're an entity by themselves, and they don't associate with Hashem. That should be the appearance. Mitzad Hashem, Hashem wants in those tachtonim which have the sense that they are independent, they are not connected, they too should become a dir tachtonim. The truth is, Ani Havaya Lo Yishanis. Hashem has not changed. She'ein shum shinui etzli yizborech. There is no change by Him blessed, ben koidem shenivra olam, between before the world was created. Shehoyahu shmei bilvad kamo alofim v'rivi v'ishono koidem b'ris olam. Hashem was alone. His name for many thousands and tens of thousands of years before the world was created. It was just Hashem. So something happened later on that a world was created. Oh, now there is Hashem and a world now. So here we're saying there were thousands of years before, but already there is the concept of time. There is already Zman. We're saying Zman, after time was created, the world wasn't created right away. So there was a time when time was created, and yet there was no world. It was only Hashem and His name. But in the parentheses, he has same thing is before time was created. Because Hazman got nivra mechudash. Because even the time is also created and renewed. And actually, say there's manim koydem b'riyas olam hazeh. Before this world was created, there was already an order of time. There was already that order of time. B'hainu me'eis atzilus v'isavus olam esorichne. From the time that Hashem separated and created the spiritual world, there was time. Before that creation of time, over there is no order of times applicable. For Hashem blessed is above, higher than time. And also, after the world will be destroyed, will still be only Hashem in His name. Goes before and after. During the period when the world is created and the world is in existence, in a kamei yizborech kula mamish kilo choshu. For Hashem, it's considered as nothing. Just like before the world was created, there is no entity, nothing happened to be relative to Hashem. But this is only kamei. The world feels itself as an existence. But before Hashem, there is nothing. But by also that is considered as a being, an entity by itself, and it blocks godliness. That's why we call it Olam. Why is it called Olam? Al Shem HaElam, because of the Elam, Shemaylam Elikus Mastira, because it blocks godliness and it hides it. That's why we call it Olam. Olam Loshen Elam. So what is Tachlis B'riyas Olam? So what is the goal of creating the world? is Shanis Abe HaKadosh Baruch Hu Liyis Lo Dira B'Tachtoin. Hashem wants him to be a Dira B'Tachtoin. Pirush Ki Ha'olam Hazeh Hu Ha'olam HaYeser Tachtoin. This world is the lowest of the worlds. Lowest means Shahelim B'Yeser B'Cheshach Kavum Chupel. The obscurity is great, and the darkness is double and quadruple. Means this is what we mean. Tachtoinim means when there's darkness. We don't mean tachtoinim in space, low, sort of in a lower space, because before Hashem, we don't have higher or lower space. Because it's not applicable, it's like above or below relative to Hashem. Because he is not in the definition of space, God. So you can't say on him low. What does it mean? Low, what we mean to say is that's the powerful and multitude of obscurity and blockages through all these many restrictions. That's the low world. So our world is a tachton because it has so many restrictions and such powerful many restrictions, so that it's totally obscure. That's our low world. Hashem wants in the tachtoinim, b'shom davki yeh, b'chinas didei v'izgalus alakusi yizbarach. Over there should be a dwelling place and a revelation of His godliness, b'yidiyah shlano gamke. That even in our understanding, we should know it also. K'moisha hu bi lamayla b'yidiyah l'yoyna dekula kamei kilot chashiv. Just as it's known in the above knowing that all of it is considered like nothing, though, we should also realize that it's all nothing. And for that was the goal in creating the world. Hagam she'ein musig lanu hatam, even though we don't know the reason, we don't understand the reason, we know that that's what Hashem wants. We don't have a grasp for the reasons in the Sabbath, why He wants this. But this, all what we know, this is what Hashem wants. That was absolutely, for sure, His intention. Okay, so how do we bring down this revelation, this dwelling place in the lower worlds? By subduing yourself, pushing yourself, and then turning yourself around. As for example, a king of flesh and blood. You want to make him a nice dwelling place? First, you got to clean out the room from all kinds of dirt and schmutz and tinef. And then the sadasham kelim noy, and then you organize beautiful furnishings. Mita, a bed, a shulchan, a table, a kisei, a chair, a menorah, and a lamp. Kein avodas hodom. So this is the service, the avodah of the man. The pasuk says, "Vayenicheyu began eden la'avda u'lishamra," to work it, avodah, and to protect it. Razal, and our sages tell us that what does it mean la'avda? Zuramach mitzvahs asay. You work the Gan Eden by doing the 248 positive mitzvahs. U'lishamra, And when it says l'shamra zu shasal loisase, you're protected by the 365 prohibition. The hainu haloisase him levayir hara. The loisase are there to destroy, remove the ra, to remove the from amongst you that there should be no shmutz, no dirt, God forbid. And the positive heim al derech moshe tikun v'sidur kelim noim. There, by way of example, the organizing and the setting up of these beautiful vessels, beautiful furnishings. Through this becomes the dwelling place below. That is the revelation of bringing down the blessed light of the Ein Sof below. So really, while we don't see it now, it adds the parentheses. It's going to take place, lost in love, in the future is going to be. Now it's hidden, we don't see it. That's why this is called, what we are doing, the Torah mitzvah is called service. It's correcting. Hainu, through our service, our Torah mitzvahs, Ramach mitzvah says, Onu mamshichim sheyiya gilu lamata. We draw down, there should be a revelation below. We make this correction through our service. So the idea of the avodah, look into the biur aposik. It says shekedei lahamshich hagilu gam lamata muchrach liyos. That in order to bring down the revelation below, we have to have it from above Seder Ishtalshlus. And higher than the light and the vitality that extends into the world. So in order to bring it down lower, we needed to bring it from higher. So there too, there's the pasuk Yavod, serve pasuk L'tiyah b'shakela. Over there, b'pirush v'avadetem es Hashem, Elokeichem cholu, u'b'parsha Shlach, by apostle v'yimtzu ish, b'koishesh eitzim. Over there, it discusses b'inyan pirush pulchana d'rechimusa. He translates what it means, the service, the avodah of Ava chulu. Over Parshas Shmois b'Divra Maschil Kol Doidi b'Inyan Avodah Kosher talks about the hard work Chol Avodah Basoda, which is in Mitzrayim. So Inyan Ramach Pikudim Ramach Egorim de Malka. This is the 248 mitzvahs are the 248 limbs of the king. What does it mean? It's Shehem Kelim LaHashroa Seid Sobaruch. They become the vessels for the resting of the blessed Ein Sof. Just as the kelim, as the limbs are vessels for the light and the energy of the soul, the mitzvahs are kelim to bring down godliness. That's why we make the bracha, because we bring down the kedusha. Through our mitzvahs that we do, we bring down the level of kedusha, and that's done with each of the mitzvahs. Okay. Today a little